Superman is my most anticipated movie of 2025, and here are three reasons why it should be on your list as well. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Happy New Year, and welcome to Popcorn and Soda, the show where we discuss all things movies, pop culture, and so much more. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for making moi a small part of your day. 2025 is in full swing. A new year comes with a whole new slate of movies. And one movie that I am just over the moon about, that I cannot wait to see, that's been on my radar for the last few years, is none other than the launch of the brand new DCU, which starts off with Superman. Full disclosure, Superman is my favorite character in any medium, whether it's movies, TV shows, comics, cartoons, whatever. Superman's just my guy. It's always been, he always will be. I just have a connection with that character. I just think the character is such an amazing, well-written character. I know people find Superman boring because, he's always doing the right thing, but hey, what's not cool about being good and doing the right thing? That is why I'm so excited for Superman this year, because we're going to get a different interpretation of Superman than we have in the past. And we've gotten an interpretation over these last 10 to 15 years of different types of directors who have gone in and made Superman, whether it was a love letter to the original Christopher Reeve movie with Superman Returns in 2004 or 5. And then we had, of course, Man of Steel from Mr. Zack Snyder, starring Mr. Henry Cavill back in 2013. Henry Cavill is one of my favorite actors, and his Superman is my favorite Superman. He's up a close second is Mr. Tom Welling from Smallville, a show that I absolutely loved. And that is something that I'm so passionate about, that show up until today, because I feel like that show captured Clark Kent better than any other medium that we've seen. And I really feel that we're going to get a blend of everything that we've seen that has worked in the past, plus some brand new things. So let's get the list started. Here are three reasons why I feel Superman is going to just blow expectations out of the water. And that is why it's my number one most anticipated movie. Number one on the list is David Corenswet. Listen, whoever was going to play Superman after Henry Cavill had a very tall task. And I think unfairly, because Henry Cavill is like the internet's like boyfriend, and everyone just loved him in Man of Steel. And of course, Superman is in Zack Snyder's Justice League, Batman vs Superman. I thoroughly enjoy it. I know people are very divided on it, but it wasn't going to be easy for whoever gets cast next. And David Corenswet is a name that I know a lot of people may not know now, but believe me, after July 11th, David Corenswet is going to blow up. He is such an amazing actor, and look no further than one of my favorite TV shows that I've seen in the last 5-10 years. I kid you not. I watch this series once every year, and that is Hollywood. It's a Netflix miniseries about the golden age of cinema, and it's about people making movies, and David Corenswet plays an actor named Jack Costello who wants to be an actor within the movie. Very meta, I know, but you need to go watch that series. Do yourself a favor. David is such a strong actor, and I think it's really something that we need to kind of bring back to the role of Superman. We need someone who can do the comedic Clark Kent, goofy, can't believe that he's Superman, as well as the strong, heroic Man of Steel as well. Forget the fact that David Corenswet looks like Superman. And of course, whether it's Henry Cavill, whether it's Brendan Routh, whether it's Christopher Reeve, whether it's Tom Welling, there is a specific Superman look. And these guys look like they're all straight out of the comics. David's got that look. David's got the acting chops. David is he's tall AF. And from the trailer, from the movie stills, everything that's been released so far, I'm just so excited for David to just crush it. Again, I do think he's got a really uphill battle because the second the movie comes out, everyone's going to automatically start comparing him to Henry Cavill. But I urge each and every one of you to give David Cornsweet a shot because I really think he's going to make this Superman his own, and I think it may be one of the best Superman that we've ever seen. So David Cornsweet is my number one reason as to why this movie is going to rock. Number two, for better or for worse, James Gunn. And especially James Gunn being behind the movie, not only as the CEO of DC, co-chair and co-CEO of DCU, but as well as the fact that he is directing this film. I love the Guardians of the Galaxy films. I'm not going to say they're my favorite, but the one thing that they have undeniably is heart. And that's what Superman needs. Superman is compassion in a world where there is not much compassion left. Superman is hope. Superman is the light. And if you watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3 especially, you know James Gunn just crushed it with the heart and the emotion and the light and goodness of our characters that we really, really believe in. So I think James Gunn's going to do a great job of creating a world where Superman exists, as we've seen in the trailer, but also we have Clark Kent and Superman as two different people, but yet at its core, they're both beacons for doing the right thing. And on top of that, if you saw the trailer, you saw some like monsters in the trailer, which threw me off guard. You saw a bunch of different superheroes in there as well. It's got a Guardians kind of vibe. And I don't know if I'm fully on board with that. I guess I'm just like everyone else. I'll wait and see the next trailer and then the movie itself. But I do believe that James Gunn has a good pulse on the character as well as the universe that he's creating around Superman. And James Gunn does an amazing job of taking Earthlings, I guess Superman's not really an Earthling, right? And bringing alien worlds and aliens into that world. And I think that James Gunn is going to do something unique with this character. I don't think we're going to see a lot of like James Gunnish vibes in this movie. And you guys know what I mean, like the James Gunny, the Suicide Squad or Guardians of the Galaxy type modern day music. I think this is going to be a throwback. And I think this is going to also establish the future. And I think James Gunn's the right director for this movie because he's the one that's going to set the template for everyone else to come in and start creating within this world. So James Gunn is number 2 on my list of why I think this movie is going to be great. Number 3, as to why I think this movie is going to work, is because there is a whole new regime and there's a whole new plan in play here with the DCU. When Zack Snyder's universe, known as the Snyderverse, came out, there wasn't necessarily a plan. It was, let's drop Man of Steel. And at that time, what the powers that be wanted to do, they wanted a world such as the Avengers, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, to kind of, have the DC universe rival that. And they wanted to get into that ASAP. But I don't know if that really worked out for them. Clearly it didn't because we're now getting a whole new rebooted universe. And it was almost kind of like throwing darts against the dartboard and seeing what landed and what stuck. And a lot of things did stuck and land. I loved the DCU or the DCEU at the time. I loved it. I had a great time watching those movies. I really did. But it's hard to deny that by the end, when all the movies that had come out, people were kind of checked out. And it's unfortunate because I really feel like there was a whole another story realm that could have gone. But I understand when you have such iconic characters as Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the people have kind of lost the faith almost from the people that are making these movies, you have to kind of start clean slate all over again. And what I love is that they're really focusing on the scripts and focusing on storytellers telling their own story. Not everything's going to be cookie cutter. Everything's going to have its own tone and vibe. And I think that's great. Movies are not being rushed to be made. James Gunn has said numerous times, we're not going to just greenlight anything. Things that have maybe potentially been greenlit, until there's a proper script, we're not going to go out and shoot. And I love that. Superman is probably the most important movie of this entire year because this entire next slate of 5 to 10 years worth of DC movies really hinges on the success of this film, which I have no doubt it will be. This movie does not need to be $1 billion movie, right? We're living in a world where if a movie doesn't make $1 billion, it's considered not successful, which just blows my mind. What Superman needs to do is just be a good movie. Set a base, not just a base, a strong base. Because once you have that strong base of David Corenswet as the face of this DCU, I really think the sky's the limit. No pun intended. Maybe a little. Point being is the people behind these characters, the people behind this universe, Peter Safran, James Gunn, all the other directors that they've tentatively announced and rumored are out there. I think they are all true comic book fans, but on top of that, they're really good directors and they're really good visual storytellers. Because comic books brought to life on the big screen, you need to have those visuals, but more importantly, you need to have the story right. So I really feel like there's a plan in place and they're not going to have knee-jerk reactions if a movie does well or if it doesn't do well. They're going to stick to it. They'll pivot when they have to, but most important is that there is strong leadership from top to bottom. And that gets me so excited for Superman because this is the coming out party. This is everyone being invited to watch this version of Superman, and more importantly, give us a template and a playground for what the DCU will look like. So those are my 3 reasons as to why Superman is my most anticipated movie of this year. More importantly, I want to hear from you guys. Comment below and please do share your thoughts. Is this on your list? Are you excited to see David Corenswet, Nick Hoult as Lex Luthor, Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane, James Gunn being James Gunn? Please, I'd love to hear your thoughts. As always, I would greatly appreciate it if you can take 1 minute out of your data, hit that like button, click that notification bell, and hey, possibly consider subscribing to the channel. As always, my name is Talal. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on Popcorn and Soda.